However, there are differences that explain.
Ma'am?
Do you mind going today?
Oh,
I know I'm due.
I wasn't prepared.
Okay.
Uh, okay,
So,
hold
do
on.
you mind or no?
Huh?
Do you mind going or no?
Let me see if I can connect from here.
Okay.
Okay, 1 second. Let me just try to get in.
I'm still in vacation mode, so I want to
Uh,
sit back and watch it.
okay. One moment, please. All right, I'm able to get in, which is good. Let me just get back on Zoom over here. All right. Can you see my screen?
Now I can, yes.
Okay. So a summary of what happened on Friday. Things looked really great, especially for NASDAQ, went up to 2%. The cause of this was we had some great earnings from Google. And I believe also, did we have Microsoft? I'm not 100% sure, but we had a couple of earnings. Tesla's also went up the first day, but then it started to do a dumpster fire. Microsoft or Meta went down, even though it had good earnings. So it was kind of like a mixed bag of things that went up and down that you would thought would go up, but they went down, and you would thought they would go down and went up. So yeah, basically, but on Friday things were looking good, especially like I said, NASDAQ and S&P 500. Dow Jones wasn't bad, wasn't too great, but it was still on the green side. For tomorrow, uh, not surprised, things are looking positive, but you can see that it's not that much. It's just mainly flat at the moment. So, but usually on Fridays, we tend to do business as usually and try to set a good step forward. Okay, so that's that. I thought I was logged in. Okay, here I am. Okay. So I'm actually gonna do something really slightly different and see what's gonna be earning. What's tomorrow, the 28th? So for Tuesday, we have Amazon, McDonald's, and Starbucks coming up. We also have Dash, Car, Miss Green Car. Why don't you put that on the notes to see? Vana, and of course, Apple in 4 days. Also, Peloton, Miss Green, Peloton. This could do a squeeze play, and that's what we want to watch out. So, please put this on the notes for a potential squeeze because it was brought down a lot, and it's like the short percentage is extremely high on this, and what we want it to occur is a squeeze so we can jump on it. Also, Open and Wayfeet has earnings. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that, and also Freshly Pet coming up in 8 days. Okay, so that's that. Let's see what happened. Okay, so top 5 of Positivos or winners from last week, as I said, Google close to 10%. I don't know why Carvana went up to the sky, but it messed me up. And let's look at Google. Yeah. All right. So on the daily basis for Google, you can see based on the graph of what happened on Friday, and earnings were not surprisingly bad. They were good, 25% earnings, and revenue was great. Close to expectations and slightly above. So of course, because it's a great company, this is just extra to me, but I'm not surprised they would want to
Can you
do
zoom
this.
in a little bit more?
Yes, I was about to. You can see that it surpassed all-time highs twice. So, first, obviously it was higher here. Now it's here. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets to 180 this week and then they start bringing it down. I think it's a little too much at the moment, but again, this thing has been skyrocketing. It has a smiley face, as Mr. Boss likes to say. But this gap is extra to me.
If I had been paying attention, I would have shorted it at the high on Friday for Monday.
Well, you have a chance because Monday's coming. That's tomorrow.
No, I said I would have shorted it at the high on Friday for Monday.
Oh, for Monday. Well, yeah, look at this. So it did it in the pre-market. Sorry, it did it in the post-market. So you would have had to have it. Well, this was the
I'm
high.
gonna put on the notes. What was the high of for Friday? I
So
wanna.
the high around 174.80. The place to get it was obviously at this 180 price, at 181 price. It went cray up there. Um, yeah, if you can get it above 174 to 176, it would be good. Okay. I'm not going to talk about Carvana. Let's look at NVDA. It went up to 6.41%. And this is why I tell you guys, if the darling of the show wants to get back, it gets back. And this is why it's good to, as someone has been doing, taking their money out, because it does a turnaround. I told you I was not gonna be convinced until I truly see that this thing is just like maybe down here because what happens is with the chips is this is the darling. It hit kind of, you can say, rock bottom over here, which is sort of an area of support, kind of, that it started to break out here. um and it's starting to go back again, and look, it's above the 50 period. Until I see that there's more than a couple of days maybe breaking this low, then yeah, maybe you can say it's starting to go down, but it's going back to its antics. And if you want to try to get rid of this, just make sure you get rid of it when it's down. Riviano, we may want to take a look at this as well. It's $9, and anytime it gets maybe above $9 or here, that's when you really want to short it. It's on hard buy, so it's expensive. But this thing is in gutter land and it's gonna continue. On it's gonna, I think that's gonna be the price, $9. Coin picked up. It was roughed up, but it's been doing a consolidation area here. It's slightly above, it closed above the 50 period. So maybe I'll start picking back up again. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. DraftKings, I'm not surprised that this is starting to go up a little bit with the playoffs. So, it could get back up here in this area to 45. So just be on the lookout for that. It had two really good green candles back to back. So yeah, I could see this getting back up there. Okay, so open, like I said, maybe things are gonna pick up a little bit. It's at the level, a good buying level that we had said. Um, but where is this gonna go? Is this thing even making money? Let's take a look. No, it did better than what they expected. Do you think it's gonna be making money? That's the question. Probably not. Will it be doing better? I don't think so. The way that things houses are going, I don't know.
Can you take a look at quarter 2 and 3 and 4 of last year?
Yes, ma'am. I'll
I
start
just
over
want to
here.
see. Well, I'm trying to see when the last time I made money.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back a little bit over here. They almost started to make money here.
Almost doesn't count.
I know. I said almost. I didn't say they did.
Almost doesn't count.
Okay, so here they did May 5th, 2022.
Quarter 1 of 2022. Okay.
And also this one.
Mm-hmm.
Then they went downhill.
Okay.
They really guided down.
All right.
So look at this. So from making money here, they freaking guided down like crazy.
Keep going.
Then they never lost.
Continuation. Continuation.
Continuation. Let's see, from worse to better to better, slightly better, and slightly better. Still
So
losing.
they've been getting better.
They've been getting better the last 3 ones, yes.
So quarter 1 was the last time in 2022. So the
Hmm.
question is, will it be able to continue?
That's what we're gonna find out. At this rate, it could bounce a little bit, but the chart is telling me otherwise. Chart is saying otherwise. We can look at how they guided. So if they guided, let's see how they guided. If they guided, if you want to take a look at that in Yahoo Finance, we can take a look at after we review. Okay, so then that's that. AMD is one that I like to look at. It's starting to pick back up. If in, this is not we like this buy-in zone over here, obviously at 100. But it has some potential here too. This was an area before at 154, which was resistance, which could become support. So I don't know, maybe this is an area that you want to fiddle, but obviously we like it over here, you know. And let's see if it gets down there. Microsoft. So let's look at the 1-minute chart. Okay, this is the one I believe. Yeah, this had good earnings. And not surprisingly, why would they have bad earnings, But they had better than expected. It picked back up, but it has started to be going down after the earnings. So that's sort of a little pattern. Even though it's shooted up, it has been going down. And you can see here that it shot up, but it was, let's see, it's still below the 50 period. So this is something that is more of a weaker one than the other ones. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at some other interessante. Freshbet will ignore. Home Depot will ignore. Although Home Depot, we may want to look at because things are starting to heat up with the so-called spring and renovation bug that people like to get around this time, and spruce up the with the flowers. This area that is coming to, which is over here, has been a good area that has touched a lot. We may want to put this on the notice to see if it touches, and maybe gets below around here too. This 289 is really good. If we
Please,
can get that, but I think, this area
Home
360,
Depot.
we'll take a look at it. It's expensive, but hey. Okay, now let's look at the losers. Macy's, we like looking at that one.
Not only is it expensive, but see how much does it move a day?
Okay, let's see. It moves, let's see. HD, high
I kind
definition.
of always feel like it's one of those weird stocks.
High definition. So high definition, also known as Home Depot, moves about $6.18.
Mm, no commentary.
It moves a lot, so it is expensive. All right, let's take a look at Boeing. Okay, so here you are, folks. It picked up, but then it went back down. This thing is, there's no stopping this. It's just, it keeps going down and down and down. We wanted to see if it gets, once it gets to this 150, it's going to get down here. We want to get it at that price. Let's continue to watch it. Let's put this on watch on the notes because we do want to be able to buy this at some point. It's a good play to buy, especially at a really cheap discounted precio. Let's
It
look
has
at,
a long ways to go for me.
yeah, it has, well, we'll continue to observe it because it's been going down, so we don't want to miss the boat either. Okay, so Nikete, as we always said, it likes to bounce from this 90. History keeps repeating itself. It picked back up. It's still below the 50 period. It might do some consolidation that it likes to do, and then it likes to go up and then go down, likes to go up. So we'll see. This price is not, it's not terrible. But obviously the price to get it is, as we always say, $90, 89 or so. I'm not gonna go over Target. Let's look at EBC. Continuing to be kind of strong, kind of been, it looks like it's slowly snaking down, higher lows. Sorry, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So let's see if the snake gets down here to 12 or below. It did, almost got to 12, but we'll see if it gets to 11 or 12. The banks are kind of strong, so it might take a minute. So, but we'll continue to observe it because we do want to get it at the price that we want to get it. Dollar Tree. We should have just stayed at a short, and here's our zone. We have a zone right here at 115, 114, 115 or so. And we also have one down here. Earnings were not that awesome. So just try to get it as low as you can. We'll continue to observe it. We'll also put this on the notes as a watch. Okay, here's the meta. Magnificent. So here's the one that I told you. This thing had fantastic earnings, okay? Well, not fantastic, like super exuberant, but it had 9% of better than expected earnings, and revenue was up slightly, and this thing is making money hand over fist, billions of dollars. But they decided to crack it down. It's starting obviously to pick back up, so maybe it will fill the gap. Maybe this is a good buying opportunity for folks. I find it still expensive now. Mr. Jacinto yelled at me and himself for not getting it at $80. Down here at $90. And if you got like, 1,000 shares here and waited, you could have Enrico, but we didn't get that. So we'll see if we can get it in this zone that we had identified, which is right here. 311 at the moment. Getting it down here is gonna take a long time if it gets there. Azo, yeah, big pimpin'. Okay, let's look at the losers. Okay, so Roku, 10% or more. This thing is losing lots of dinero, I guess. Not a lot of buying for this. It did a breakdown, so but it did better than expected. So it did pick up on the day that it did reported earnings, but then they slammed it back down because it is still losing money. If it breaks down from this zone, it's gonna get lower. So that's something that you have to take a note of. Intel has been slapped on the face a lot. It has earnings. It had earnings on April 25th. Yeah, so it didn't do as it did better than expected. But the revenue wasn't as great, I guess. But I guess they're guided down or something because this thing went down, you know. So Liana is cheaper now than what we expected. It's close to $30. Your darling. The
Right,
trend
right.
your
Oh,
your
okay.
darling is
Let's look at
31. Huh?
let's look at this. Put this up, Granda.
It's still trending down. It had a big gap
About to
down
cross. So
and it's about to cross.
this area was support though before, Elisa, around the $35 area. So, but let's see. Let's look at the earnings. I think the earnings were bad. It missed earnings, didn't it?
Um,
Or Outlook or something.
I think well, revenue was slightly missed.
Okay.
But earnings was good.
Okay.
But there was something in like some news or something that made it
Outlook is
higher.
not. It's something weird. Okay. Yeah.
Obviously, we would like it to get to this area, 28, 25 area. But yes, it has dropped down significantly, Miss Green. Obviously, we would like to get it down here at 25.88 or so.
It's basic. That's at 30.
Yeah, 30. So
So we could
it's at a
say,
good level to. It's at a because it's touched this area a lot here and here.
yeah,
See, one,
we got
two.
two
So if
areas.
you can get it here at
So you got
29.
35 and 30.
Yeah. So we could put that on the notes because it's
Yeah.
gonna be at a good buying zone. XOM, this had earnings as well. And I'm looking at it a weekly. And basically, if you got it last year or a long time ago, really no need to worry because this thing has been going up every week. It's slightly going down now. Um, it was as expected, really. It was flat. Like earnings wasn't beat and it did better on revenue. But they brought it down on a daily. Let's look at the daily.
I'm kind of thinking I want to short it.
So here it is. They brought it down even though they had good earnings, Miss Green.
It didn't really. I wouldn't say that was good earnings. In this time, um,
Sorry, as expected.
well, they had to get much more revenue just to get as expected. If their revenue hadn't went up nearly 14%, they would have did a miss. You know,
I think from what I heard, there was some accounting stuff, blah blah blah, that I heard when they were talking in the squawker regarding this.
but it was
But
still
yes,
they needed to have extra revenue just to barely meet um their earnings.
so there's a little bit of area of resistance here. This was very dramatic, but they try to push it up. There's no support till
It can
maybe here.
easily come back, but I just kind of don't like that.
So
I'm going to see what happens on Monday, but
so here
I'm
Here's
not
a level, Leanna, of support slash resistance. Do you agree?
I'm not against shorting right now.
You want to
I'm
put that on
just
the notes?
low on it going up, so I'm not against going short on it.
Put it on the notes, please.
Ah,
My Americana, my darling, keeps staying over here. I have 25 shares. If it gets even below 1387 Monday, I'm gonna buy it. I think it's gonna go up on Monday again. So we can put that on the notes as I do like it. It did not great on Friday, so it needs a little pick me up for Monday, please. Um, and people are, starting to travel for the Verano and stuff like that. McDonald's. We're continue to observing this. It's
I
going back.
will say, my travel with America was very nice, and I really don't have any complaints.
Uh-huh.
Although the Charlotte airport, I think it should be updated. It's a
Yeah,
little
okay.
bit old and worn, but hey.
Okay. Let's look at the darling Tesla. Somebody's favorito. So this thing had
I've been
earnings.
doing the damn thing with Tesla recently.
So it missed earnings like, by 11%. And revenue wasn't great either. But the powers that be say, hey, that doesn't matter. We're gonna shoot this thing up. However, please note that it resisted the area. It resisted the area that we had demarked here. One second, hold on. 1 second.
Okay, so we'll just go over what we have now for the
Sorry, I'm back. So I'm back. So yes,
we
as you can
have
see,
Teton so far as a squeeze play, Google as a 180 short, and
can you hear me?
in the buying zone, and that is at either $35 or $30, whichever you choose. Then we have XOM as a possible short. I put a question mark after that, and then AAL for Miss Munoz. All
Okay,
right,
good.
you can continue now.
Oh, that was a great recap. So as I was saying, we're looking at Tesla. The EV darling wants to be a darling again. And even though it had turbo earnings, it gapped up. And anytime there's a gap up, things could go a little bit up for a second or so, or a long time. However, you can see that these doji candles are kind of resisting this area of 170. Barely, basically, when you see these dojis that are kind of neutral and it's not continuing up, you're kind of questioning yourself. Will it go back down and fill this gap? And my theory is it probably will do that. But the powers that we can say, hey, it could still also start consolidating here for a minute before it goes back up or it starts going back down. So we'll continue to observe Tesla. It is at a good point to be in it if you like volatility and you're good at day trading. So as you can see from the minute chart, the opportunities are endless. You can go down, you can go up, you can go down, you can go up, and you can go down, and you can go back. This thing is nuts. So if you're a good day trader, as some people around here are, you can day trade this thing because it's going to be doing this thing for a minute or so. There's all eyes on Teslas. Okay, so let's look at the Banco. We may want to put Tesla on the notes to just continue to observe it. The Banco's doing good. It's not that it's expensive to me a little bit because it's at a high zone. But it could, let's see. It still hasn't broken this area right here. I think it'll get to 40. Honestly. Will it get up here to this 50 range? time will tell. But it's surely going up every single week or so. So we'll continue to observe it. You know, you may want to risk it and say, hey, I think it's gonna get up here. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So, oh, and we didn't go over Apple. So Apple has been beaten down a lot, and it has earnings in 4 days, folks. And you can see higher lows, mountain after mountain of just being beaten up. Will it have good earnings this week? That's the story. That's where we want to see what would happen. They have an estimate of 1.40. Let's see what they did before. So they had guided down. And as you can see, they already been pricing it down every single day. I think this thing has been beaten up a lot, just like Tesla. So it might be a good buying opportunity, but I wouldn't get a lot because it could go crazy and gap down as Miss Green has predicted. But for a Monday, you could get a few shares. You know, you could get a few shares because it's gonna go up a little bit, and maybe it'll get back up here to this 170 like it did this crazy candle. I have it at 169.60, and you can see even now it's starting to pick up. So um I think it's a good one for Monday, and you can just get out the same day. But the trend itself, folks, it's not looking good. Every single, even on a weekly, it's just the mountains are sad, very sad. Let's look at the mountain on a monthly. You know, but overall the trend is going up, so it is a good company. But you want to get it at the best price. You know, we have a marcation here at 136. It has to really get into dire distress to get down here. So, but that's what we'll find out come 4 days. It did guide down, see, so from here 210, it guided down to 140. So hopefully it does beat expectations, because then, you know, if you get a few shares, you know, it could turn around and start getting back up, because Apple is Apple. What are you gonna do? Okay, so that's that. Let's look at the Walmart. This thing has been doing wonderfully, especially at a monthly level. Let's look at it on a daily level. It's starting to slightly you know, consolidate here. From here it has gone down a little bit ever since they did the what do you call it, the split. You know, it's still above the levels. When you, as Miss Green had mentioned, I think maybe a year ago, she said this: anytime Walmart has some crazy gaps down, as here, and as you can see as here, just get it, because what it's been doing is, with the gap down, yes, it goes down. Yes, it goes down, but then it tends to go back up like crazy. So in another occasion that this gap's down like crazy, maybe we should just get it. Hold on a second. Be careful with that computer. So again, we'll see if the powers that be bring it down. But again, that's a good buying opportunity, especially with the split. If you can get it, you know, below $50, hey, just take a few pesos and put in your long term account and you're good. I think we went over Meta. Let's look at our friend, and we look at Dollar Tree too. So I think that's it, folks. We went over the EV Tesla, Amazon. Did we go over Amazon? Let's look at Amazon. I don't think we went over Amazon. Okay. So Amazon, the Magnificent Seven, had earnings, or will have earnings. Let's see. Yes, so this is coming up also in 2 days. This is something that we want to observe. Very important dia for Amazon. I think it will do good. I think it will do good. This thing is crazy. Let's see. Did it guide up? Oh, interesting. So it did guide down. No, it guided about the same. It right here was 0.74. it guided slightly up and it beat expectations. So it guided slightly up. I guess Amazon folks are conservative and they don't guide too well. So, but I think it will beat expectations. So, but the powers can be and say, hey, we're going to slam it down. We're going to slam it up. So just be careful, especially on that day. But you can see Amazon resisted that $1.90 price and it has gone down a lot. I think, if the powers that be bring it down here, it will fill up this gap and then bring it back up. Who knows? But once you get to a level down here, I think it's a good buy. So let's be on the lookout for that. And I think that's it. That's all I have, folks. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and I hope you got some value out of this and learned something. And hopefully you'll be able to have a successful trading week. And that's all I got. Any comments, questions, or observations, Miss Green?
Again, we have Piton squeeze play. Watch out for that. Google 180 short. Intel is at the buying zone. It just passed 35. Now it's on its way to 30. XOM possible short. I have a question mark next to that. And then AAL is for Miss Munoz. She has in her possessions. That's all I got. Thank you. Like, subscribe, and peace.
Peace out.